might not be exactly where it is you want to be yet. However, if you give yourself a second to pause and take a step back, there's a very solid chance that a younger version of yourself would look up to the version of you that you are right now, or be inspired by the version of you that you are right now. Maybe a younger version of you would look up to the person that you are becoming, the person that you are en route to becoming. And not because you've made it by some external standard, but because you're actually showing up. You're doing something that you've told yourself you would do. You're taking action. You're stepping outside of your comfort zone and pursuing something that is meaningful to you. Because you're keeping the promises you made to yourself. Because you care enough to grow. Because you're being disciplined. Because you have a vision and you're working toward that vision. Because you're being yourself. You're staying true to yourself. Because you're investing in yourself and in your mindset. Because you're cultivating certain habits that you know is going to better you. Regardless of how small the action that you're actually taking is, you're actually doing it. That younger version of you may look up to the version of you that you are now, or the version that you're becoming, because you actually care to try. You care enough to try, you care enough to improve, even though it might be difficult. You are doing these things even though it may not be easy for you to do these things. And that is the type of thing that defines one's character. And because of who it is you're becoming, who it is you are right now, and who it is you're continuing to become, you probably understand and value the importance of character, of who it is you are at your core, your identity. And a younger version of you would respect the fact that you care about that now. It's not only about the types of things you've accomplished or achieved or accumulated. It's about your character. It's about who you've decided to be. The person you've clearly defined and decided to become. That is what is important. The fact that you are putting yourself out there, you are doing the uncomfortable work, you are chasing something, you are pursuing something bigger than you, something that has meaning to you, a goal, a dream. The fact that you are being consistent, that holds weight. That's significant, and it shouldn't be overlooked. You know, the goalpost is always going to continuously move. And if you aren't being grateful for how far you've come, and you aren't giving yourself some praise for actually caring, actually trying to get better, trying to improve, you're never going to get that sense of joy. You're never going to feel fulfilled or satisfied, because again, the goalpost is just always going to keep on moving. If you're someone who cares about growth, cares about reaching their goals, once you get to your current goals, you're going to have new goals, right? So you don't want to keep on postponing the way that you want to feel. You should give yourself praise. You should give yourself, that satisfaction of knowing that you have progressed and you aren't who you used to be. You are a better version of yourself, and you're going to continue growing into better and better versions of yourself because it's important to you. And that in and of itself, the fact that you care to better yourself, is something to be proud of, and something that a younger version of yourself would look up to you because of. So if you actually think about this thought exercise, I guess you can call it, think of the younger version of yourself. Would a younger version of yourself be proud of the person you are now? Would a younger version of yourself be proud of the person that you are becoming? I'm not saying you have to have everything figured out. I'm not saying you don't make any mistakes. I'm talking about your mindset, your trajectory, your potential, the way that you think about things, the way that you see the world, the fact that you are putting yourself out there, the fact that you've actually taken a risk and tried something because you know it's going to better you later down the line, or because it's something that you've always wanted to do, or because you've worked on yourself and your character is better, like you're kinder to yourself and other people. That's what I'm talking about here. Would a younger version of you see where you are now, see where it is you're going, and think to themselves, wow, I cannot wait. Like, I'm excited for that. Would a younger version of you look at the direction that current you is walking in and say, yes, like, I want that? I'm not just talking about surface level accomplishments and achievements. Those are great. when you think about this, or if you try this thought exercise, go deeper. I'm talking about your mindset, your character, the way that you view the world, your beliefs, the standards you set for yourself, the values that you carry, your principles as an individual. I know for a fact in my life, if a younger version of me, a version of me from 5, 6, 7 years ago, if they saw the way that I thought now, if they knew the kind of values that I held for myself, like internally, they would be so inspired. Like, that's what I'm hoping to get across in this recording. If you think about this, think of a version of you from 5, 6, 7, 10 years ago. Would they see the version of you right now and say, I'm inspired by that? At first, when you actually think about this, you may automatically go, like your mind may automatically go to the things that you've accomplished, or the things that you've accumulated, the things that you've achieved. And again, that's cool, but go deeper, go beyond that. Think about your willingness to grow. Think about your resiliency. These are the types of things that I want you to think about while listening to this and actually thinking about doing this kind of thought experiment exercise. Would a younger version of you feel comfortable around the version of you that you are right now, the version of you that you are becoming? Would they feel safe around you? And they wouldn't only look up to you for who it is you are today, they'd look up to you because of your potential, of who it is you can continue to become, who it is you're going to continue to become. So whenever you start comparing yourself to other people, or you get upset, you get frustrated, you're scrolling social media and you start thinking to yourself, I'm not where it is I want to be yet. There's goals that I've written out and gone clear on, and maybe I've made some progress here and there, but I'm not there yet. I'm not where I want to be yet. Take a second to pause, zoom out, and think about this exercise. Would who it is you are today inspire a younger version of you? Would a younger version of you think it's absolutely inevitable that you're going to get to all the places that you want to get to if you keep walking in this direction, if you keep building? When I've done this exercise in my own life, and it's something that I feel like I should be doing more frequently, but when I actually do allow myself to pause and zoom out and think about this, I realize it doesn't really matter what anybody else is up to. It doesn't matter how quickly someone's getting to their own goals, how slow someone is getting to their goals. I'm focused on the direction I'm walking in, the path, the lane that I'm in. And it gives me so much confidence to know that I'm not who I used to be. I'm not where I used to be. I have made progress. And I know for a fact, like in the bottom of my heart, that I'm inspiring a younger version of me. The way that I think, the way that I approach things, the fact that I actually care to take action towards my goals. A version of me from 6, 7, 8 years ago, I used to never have drive. I'm on a mission. I've never been more driven in my entire life. I'm willing to put myself in uncomfortable positions to grow, to get to my goals. I've been consistent. I stay in alignment as much as I can with my values and my standards and my principles. A younger version of me would think that's so cool, would be so inspired. And that gives me a ton of confidence. That gives me a ton of motivation, internal motivation, to continue going down this path, to continue building, to continue pushing forward and acting. Nobody's perfect, but if you're a better version of yourself than you used to be and you're inspiring a younger version of yourself, I feel like you're doing something right. And hopefully, if you actually try doing this exercise, it will give you some strong internal motivation to continue moving forward. It doesn't matter how much progress you've made, how big or how small the action that you're taking is. Think of this thought experiment, think of this exercise, and like I said, hopefully it just gives you a little bit of internal motivation. And if for whatever reason you think to yourself, no, a younger version of me would not be inspired by who it is I am, or not look up to who it is I am, number one, I feel like that's probably not the case if you're listening to this podcast and if you're consuming content like this. However, if the answer is no, then you have something to look into. And it all starts with you asking a very simple and small question, which is, what's one step I can take to move myself in the right direction? What's one step I can take that I know is going to help me better myself? So hopefully you got some value from listening to this. Hopefully this inspired you to actually do this thought experiment. If you try this out, let me know. And if you enjoyed listening to this, also let me know. My DMs are always open. Thank you for taking some valuable time out of your day to listen to me talk about these things that I'm very passionate about. I appreciate you listening, and thank you for being a part of Presence of Being, and I will see you in the next recording very soon.